Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Tamika and I go by she and her pronouns. And first off, let me start off by saying welcome to 2023. If you are here joining me and watching my videos, yes, 2023 is upon us. My birthday month is January, and I have always had up and down feelings around that. And for me, for 2023, I know that I have some ideas of goals that I'd like to accomplish over the next 90 days, 60 days, and over the next 12 months. And so I always look at this time as a time of reflection and as a time of contemplation. Some of you might have experienced the last week and a half with the Christmas celebration, with various other holidays of other religious denominations, and maybe it wasn't as joyous. Maybe it brought back some of the grief and loss that you've experienced throughout the year. I know for me, it was very scaled back and quiet with my family. We have our small family, and that's really all that was important to me. Actually, the biggest thing for me of importance was going to church and serving God, because that brings me a lot of peace in my life and a lot of harmony, especially when there's so much other stuff going on. So if you're here in 2023, one of the things you can and should say is, yay, I made it. I made it through. Not everybody did, as we always see at the end of the year those whom we have lost. So we're here, and we're not here by accident. We're here for purpose, and it's finding out your purpose. And one of the things I want to reflect on at this stage and at this time are a couple of things about what it should look like in helping you manage your chronic pain. Number one, if you haven't already, putting the time and the effort to be a part of finding out what your diagnosis is. 2022 was a struggle for me in the sense that it took almost the entire year and a hospitalization in order to get a correct and final diagnosis of fibromyalgia. I know that people who have fibromyalgia have told me that through some of the support groups I've been a part of, that sometimes it's taken years of suffering with all these symptoms and not knowing why and what you have. So you definitely want to put effort into documenting your symptoms, asking for referrals, showing up at an emergency, at a reputable, at a really good hospital. For me, I found that I got better. I got the care that I needed ultimately through Mount Sinai, to be honest. And I'm not saying that maybe there could be people watching who, for them, that wasn't a good experience, and I can understand that. But whatever you do, number one, this year, you're living with chronic pain, you have to drive that car towards a diagnosis if you don't have one already. If you do have a diagnosis of chronic pain, please remember what your limitations look like. Don't let external factors, don't let others in your circle try to influence what you should be doing to maintain your well-being, or try to put too much on you that you feel compelled to do, but then you're going to be suffering in the back end. So know your own physical, emotional, and spiritual limitations. You have to be able to put limits. You have limitations if you're living with chronic pain, first of all. So you are physically limited, and there's nothing wrong with saying that to people around you. I have limitations. I can only do so much. It's also a matter of creating safe and healthy boundaries for yourself. Number three, your emotional and your spiritual health are intertwined as far as I'm concerned. Obviously, if you're in a lot of chronic pain, you're not in a joyous mood. You are obviously going to feel very isolated, depressed, overwhelmed, burdened, saddened, sordid, miserable, lonely. All of those things are going to happen when you're dealing with chronic pain, and it's going to affect your mental well-being. So being able to put boundaries in your life are important, and that might have to happen in your own family. I know I've had to do that in my own family. I have certain family members that understand and that get it. For the most part, I would say they really don't understand. They only can understand within their own reason and their own experiences, and we should not judge them for that. We just have to recognize that that's who they are, and that's probably not your going to be your sole source of comfort. Then you have to find that in other means. Number four, I would definitely say, while you're looking after your spiritual and your emotional well-being, that you're also reaching out and looking for supports. There are supports out there. There's support groups for people with arthritis, with osteoarthritis, with fibromyalgia. There are support groups through the Canadian Mental Health Association. There's support groups through the Arthritis Society. There are support groups for people just living with chronic pain. There are supports out there, whether it's one-on-one counseling. I'm a big proponent of one-on-one counseling, and I know it's not accessible for everybody, but when you have chronic pain, I do think that if you can get in a few sessions, it will help you. But the support groups are there as well. You can't do this in isolation, because it will just break you down, and it'll put you in a very, very lonely place. And number five, finally, I would say, find ability to do things that you do enjoy, even if you can only do it to 10% of what you could ever have done when you didn't have the chronic pain. I'm fortunate that I have a dog, and to me, he is my service dog, and I might even look into actually getting him certified, because he provides me with comfort, he provides me with companionship, he gives me a reason to get out, to walk, to move. For fibromyalgia people, you have to move, and I know it's like the chicken and the egg. You're in so much pain you can't move, but your pain will keep manifesting and become more and more serious if you don't move. So it's really important to recognize that movement isn't a bad thing with fibromyalgia. Actually, it's something that we need to do. The research shows it. So if you can get out there and walk, mild to moderate exercise, such as walking, great. I just started aquafit classes, and I really enjoyed it. I felt that I got help from it, in the sense that it gave me some reprieve, and it helped me to have a better sleep. Last night I had a better quality of sleep than I did 2 nights ago. So I am a proponent of, when you're able to physically do something, try it, even in small increments, so that you can build up the tolerance and that you can start to get more relief, believe it or not, because sitting down with your pain in a darkened room, it's so lonely and it's so painful, not just the physical pain, but the emotional anguish that goes along with that. And all the research will tell you, with fibromyalgia in particular, it won't go away, it won't stop. Fibromyalgia, you have to hit it at so many points. You have to take medication, you have to do certain types of exercises, you have to watch your sleep, you have to manage your stress. Like, it's not something where, okay, I'm just going to do this one thing and that's it, I'm all good to go. So for my fibromyalgia people, just know that movement is okay and it is good. If you don't believe me, check the Arthritis Society of Canada's website, and they give you some really good resources about fibromyalgia. So for this 2023, let's reflect on doing things that are going to be good for us who live with chronic pain. Let's reflect on doing things that are going to be helpful for us, so that we can move forward and move through. We're still here, we're still moving through, and it's really by God's grace that we're able to take it in from one day to the next. And I know every day looks different, because that's what it's like with chronic pain. Every day, every moment, every hour can look different, and that is okay. And you don't have to put up a strong front to please anyone. Just be yourself and love yourself, and knowing that you are worthy. So as I always say, listen to Black women Amplify our voices, listen to our stories. I had to tell my story over and over so many times for people to take me serious enough to get a diagnosis. That in and of itself is humiliating and emotionally draining. So if you're an ally out there and you see my videos, what are you doing to amplify the voices of Black women around you in your community? Because Black women are worthy, we are worthy of love, we are lovable and we are loving, and we have a purpose here on this planet, and we will fulfill our true destinies. So anyways, I just want to say thank you for watching my channel, and I hope you have a blessed day, everyone. Take care. Bye.